welcome back, everyone. Yeah, and the reason we didn't have a mic last time was due to Brett didn't have one.
Yeah, I've been crapped out on me.
No, you're just too aggressive.
Dude, they're supposed to last a year.
Actually, they're designed to last a lot longer than that. You're just really aggressive, so getting a year out for you is good.
I won't be talking for a while because I am enjoying a traditional Rice Krispie treat, crunchy marshmallow.
I would ask you to put your mic up. That might be his mute, actually. If it's not muting it, whatever. So yeah, welcome back to school, guys.
Alright.
And we will try not talk during cutscenes too much. And since this is a cutscene heavy game, not much talking from us. That's his family. We'll meet later on.
Time to get going.
We'll meet one of the characters this game, not the other two. And you're free to guess.
Rean!
Hey, Elliot.
Morning, Elliot.
Good morning. Are you heading to school now too? How about we walk there together?
Sure.
And I'll
It's
tell
getting
you guys,
late though, so we might need to pick up the pace a little.
I'll tell you guys how I'm going to do the side quest. If I'm not 100%ing this game. I found it a little harder than it should be, but I'm going to try and do all the hidden quests I can find on my own.
No problem. I'm guessing everyone else left already, huh?
I think so. I'm not sensing anyone else on this floor, at least.
Channel. Oh,
Gaius in
Yeah,
particular
I'll
is
be taking a
probably
lot of
long
drinks
gone
right
by
now.
now, being the early riser he is.
we're in the Midwest, and it is balls hot out here.
I thought my balls were pretty hot.
No, they stick together.
Oh, okay
No, they stick together.
then.
Yes, they do stick together.
He's
Why
not
do I promote
sensing
this with you?
anyone? What does that mean exactly?
Because you love me.
Yes, these characters can sense each other. And they don't explain it. And I already know who Brett's favorite character's gonna be. The silver kitty cat girl.
I love me some furries.
I'm not gonna say names yet because of we don't know. Well, we totally do know all their names at this point, but we don't know what their shit is yet.
Good morning.
Like why Lisa hates us all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Because of
good
the
morning.
damn slap. But there's a lot more.
Morning.
Meets the eye.
Are you two on your way to school?
Yeah. Come on, Emma. We're going to be late.
I'll say this: Elisa cares, but she
Hey,
is
wait for me,
very
Lisa.
tsundere about it.
We'll see you in class.
And I'm gonna let the rest of the characters you figure out on your own, Brett. How do you figure out? And
I never would have guessed she'd hold a grudge this long. She knows it was just an accident, right? She has to.
your chewing is fine.
Can't believe she'd be so sensitive.
No kidding.
Well, a guy touched her boob. What else do you expect?
She's not even giving me a chance to apologize to her.
Well, as long as you keep trying, I'm sure she'll understand. Eventually.
And I wonder why my channel is so small.
Class 7's got enough tension as it is, what with our two, prideful warriors at each other's throats.
You chose me. You chose
Yeah, I did, I know.
Yeah.
And yes, they use pride in a weird way.
So I think it would be a load off everyone's
are
mind
prideful
if you and
characters.
Elisa could make up at least.
I'll certainly do what I can, whatever that may be.
And the way this game is set up is you do X amount in school, and then you go to another location for a field study, and that's where you finish the chapter. Well, there is another place you finish the chapter, but I hate that dungeon. And it's a dungeon that we've already been in once.
These
We
past 2
returned to
weeks
it
have
by
really flown
often.
by, haven't they? It's funny. I went into this thinking combat practice would be the toughest part of the curriculum. Never would have guessed the academic side of things might give it a run for its money.
As you can see, Elliot is a weakling.
Well,
But he's also a
strong in
musician.
body and mind is pretty firmly embedded into Imperial culture. I do get what you mean, though. I figured I'd be able to coast through the year, but I've had to very quickly reevaluate that.
You
If we
too,
make it
huh?
through the year.
I wish I were as smart as Machias or Emma. They don't seem to be having any problems. But then, Emma got the top score on the entrance exam, and I'll bet you anything Machias wasn't far behind.
I'm sure. Eustace and Elisa are apparently doing really well, too. As are Laura and Gaius.
I'll say this, I'm a Elisa fan.
Really?
I love my
Guess
Elisa.
I'm just gonna have to suck it up then. Though I really do hope
You're
they
a
don't
Fee fan.
mind.
But I'm also a fan of Fee.
Huh? I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, sorry. You got me thinking about Eustace and Laura. I've been talking to them the same way I talk to everybody else, but they're both nobles, right?
Well, you're tied to a noble right now.
And Eustace's family rules over
No,
the whole
sorry.
eastern
The
side
main
of the
character is a
Empire,
noble.
so it kind of feels like I should address them more
That is,
formally.
I kind of spoiled something, but in
Well,
a
they
very
both said it was
minor
okay,
spoiler
so
for
I
main
wouldn't
story.
worry about it too much. Though you probably shouldn't go picking fights with Eustace every chance you get, like a certain someone else.
Oh, I don't plan on it. I'd hoped they'd get along a bit better over time, but if anything, things seem to be spiraling downhill fast on that end.
And there are also something called bonding points, where we can spend time with certain characters to increase their bonds and get their social links up.
When the two of them are in the same room, there's just this constant tension in the air.
And it comes back later on at the very end of the game for something good.
It's not all Machias either. Eustace seems to enjoy provoking him at every opportunity. I can't even imagine what it would take to make them see eye to eye at this point.
Yeah, I wish there was something we could do to help them get along.
Yeah, you can fit more in the trash can.
But please don't do it with your mic down.
Oh, sorry.
No water ball crinkles.
Sorry.
Because a lot of people think it's a chip bag.
You can't play video games.
And that's where we'd be if we weren't in Class 7. Dormitory number 2, for all the common
Yes.
folk like us.
Nothing doing Doritos.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Doritos is for, Dungeons and Dragons.
No, that's typical video games.
I'm still kind of shocked that Class 7 gets to have its own dormitory.
No, it's carrots and Cheetos.
Though, to be fair, I think
For
that building was
D&D.
abandoned till this year. Seems like they renovated
Yep.
it just for us.
Well, they did a good job. It's got a nice feel to it. I just wish it were a little closer to the academy.
Hey, you're in our way. Step aside at once.
Put your headset on. Time to meet douchebag. And yes, I covered my mic with my hand to mute some of the volume here and there. Hi, douchebag. I hate him so much. Even the second game, he's better, but I still hate
Class
the guy.
7, I see.
You think they'll ever make Minecraft for the VR?
No,
Is something the matter?
this is the way the game works.
You're just a ragtag bunch of nobodies, aren't you? Come on, we're leaving.
Yes, Patrick! A word of advice. You might be part of a special class, but that doesn't change who you are. Never forget your place.
And yes, nobles are snooty assholes in this game. All of them. Well, not all of them, but most of them are. Snooty assholes.
So they're from one of the upper classes. This is why I hate talking to them.
So, you
Unfortunately, that attitude is all too common among the nobles.
I'm for Chris.
And your phone is freaking out.
YouTube. Ooh, wonder if I got any. Sorry. If
Thank goodness Laura and Eustace aren't like that.
I'm not really in it. I'm not really doing YouTube for
Money, we're just doing it for fun.
this. Well, I hope to get a Patreon for your stuff. Because
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
And we might mix up Patreon with my channel too, so we can buy more games and better equipment. In general, that's our goal.
That's
to
the
get these
infamous
channels go
dormitory
up so we
number
can
1,
both
where all the nobility
build
lives.
up our gear and buy games for each other.
It's supposed to be super fancy inside, with maids and butlers and everything.
Oh, that one had music in it.
Yeah. Make sure it's not copyrighted music when you do it.
Wow, really?
You can do that. You can post it on Facebook, and it says on Facebook it's been muted, but it hasn't.
Yeah, but YouTube is much more strict with it.
The ones that have music on it, I do that on YouTube.
Guess that's
You
our cue to
can
pick
put
up
on
the pace.
YouTube and use YouTube's editor to delete it and replace it with another song.
Yeah, sorry.
I gotta charge my GoPro quick.
You mean your shit pro?
Oh, hey, have you picked out a club to join yet? Doesn't
we
sound
haven't
like
know
you
yet.
have to or anything, but it's probably a good way to meet people.
No, I'm still looking. It's hard to decide on one.
Tell me we become the dogs of the student council. And I'm not joking by that either. We literally do their job for them. Focus on that later.
Stand, bow. Be seated.
Meow.
Yeah, I probably just wrote that, whatever.
Yeah. We become the dogs of the military and the dogs of
As
the...
I'm sure you're all well aware, the Erebonian
Oh, so
Empire was
council.
driven to the brink of collapse roughly
Ready for history?
250 years ago.
Yay!
Actually, this is a good history. I hate this teacher though. I hate him for
This
reasons
was
in
brought
the
about by
game.
the conflict we know as the War of the Lions.
I'll find out.
A civil war lasting several
not going
years, staged
try
over the
and spoil
throne of the
anything.
late
I
emperor
might
by the
drop
most
these
powerful
waters
of his
in her.
potential successors. But of course, I'm not here to tell you that. If I were, I think even young children would be able to pass this course.
Sorry, I like this track
Rather,
a lot.
I'd like to discuss the effects this
I just
had on
bonked
the
my head
Empire
to it.
as members of the aristocracy were drawn into the war.
They're talking
Many
about Civil
hired
War right now,
mercenaries
right?
turned to looting and pillaging, and a similar trend could even be seen among some of the knights. The land was left utterly devastated, and morale was at an all-time low.
On the other side, I hear
That is actually...
But then,
Programming
lo
things
and
you can do.
behold, into
But
this
that is
nightmare
something you
stepped a
can't do.
man.
That's something this
A
game
man
does have
willing
to
to
do.
take a stand against this bloody war of succession.
I mean, that's why the games where the characters are actually talking.
They are talking.
But I knew about all the speeches.
He was a
Well,
wandering prince who began
because
to
on the
rally
original
forces
release,
from the
this
outskirts
game
of the
didn't
empire,
have much voice.
and would go on to make quite a name for himself.
PS Vita and 3. And this game doesn't have full voice acting because there's too much script to read.
And that name, of course,
And
was Dreikels
these
Rysei
games
Arnold.
are
He would
as
later become known as
long as the
Dreikels the
whole
Lionheart,
Lord of the
the
Rings
73rd
trilogy
Emperor
in
of
text.
Erebonia, and father of the
that's how much
Renaissance.
text there is to read out. So that's kind of hard for a
Not to
budget
mention the
title
founder of
to
this
read,
very academy.
right? So
Dreikels' army was initially rather
For
small in
just
number.
money reasons, that's why they don't voice everything.
But
That's why
as
they
he
did what they
traveled
did.
across the empire, winning over the hearts of influential sympathizers, his forces rapidly increased. Now, the place where Emperor Dreikels first began gathering his army was...
You played too hard.
Reen Schwarzer, would you care to tell the class?
You play too hard. You gotta try hard. Where do you think it was? That's Crossbell. Pray hard. Yep. Nor Highland is also a place we can go to later on in the game. And the questions get more dubious the further you get into the game.
When we get a Patreon, I hope to buy my own internet box, or not internet box, router. For now, and I would just put it behind the TV. Would that work?
Well, you'll need our mod, or no, because then you have to get connected to the modem anyway. There's no point. The way you have your setup now is fine.
Why would I can't stream?
Totally, yes, you can, but that's just a whole thing to set up. It's not really the easiest, so rather you not. Recording is the best for you until I can teach you how to stream settings later, or I can preset for you.
Nice work, everyone. You made it through another grueling day of classes.
I didn't tell you how to share.
In case you've been living under a rock, please don't forget that tomorrow is your first free day.
The way SharePlay works is between 2 players.
Oh yeah.
We've done SharePlay before.
Oh yeah, with pod racing.
Yeah, it is where it shares it streams the video to the other console. So that's how it works. We should get back to the pod racing game later on.
It's not technically a day off,
And
but there
we'll
are
do
no
it when we're
classes,
actually
so it's
here.
up to you what to do with your time. Why, you could go shopping in the capital if you wanted to. Or just do what I do and sleep all day. Sleep is so wonderful.
She's the best teacher.
Will the Academy's facilities still be open for our use?
Yes, I'd like to be able to use the free study
Emma?
area in the library myself.
I don't want to reveal something, but just
Of course,
wait.
this
Wait
school
till the
shuts
end of
down
the
for
game.
no one. So feel free to patronize any and all facilities as you like. A lot of
There's a
clubs
joke
have
later
meets
on for
scheduled for these free days as well,
boobs.
so anyone who's joined one should probably check on that.
I see.
No. They're not Laura Cross boobs.
I'll be certain to do
Not
so.
a PS1 Tomb Raider. Bad. Laura, you're my 3rd favorite girl.
Also, before you leave, we should go over what's happening next week.
I played it, yeah.
On Wednesday, you all have your practical exam.
A practical exam?
What does that entail exactly?
And here's
It's
something
part of
that
your
I
combat
find a little bit of annoying, the practical
You'll be
exams.
graded on your performance, so make sure you're well rested and ready for battle by then.
Because they
It might
test
be a
you,
good idea to
and
do
they
some
want you to
training
do
on your
certain
own time
things
too, just to
to
keep
do
from
it.
getting rusty.
Yeah. It's like they will
Interesting.
prohibit certain actions from being done.
I definitely don't like the sound of that.
Well, you can still do those prohibited actions and just not get the extra points for it. High fee.
Oh, and one more thing.
She's the
After
best
the
cat
practical
girl.
exam is over, I've got another important
She's not
announcement
actually cat girl, but the game described her as that class.
about a major part of Class 7's curriculum that I haven't mentioned at all yet.
What?
Here it comes.
And Sarah is a drunken.
Whatever you
drunkard,
choose to
too.
do on your free day, make it count for something. That concludes today's homeroom. Machias, if you'll do the honors.
She is an X-Bracer.
Yes, instructor.
You don't know what X-Bracer is yet?
All rise. Bow.
Yay for Japanese school systems. Good. See all those Asian ladies? Yeah. Well, you're more of a Western gamer than Japanese gamer. But most of your games are from the West that you play. I'm more of the Japanese player. Because about 95% of my catalog I own is Japanese games. Right, I still need to get back to Horizon Zero Dawn eventually and finish that game. It's a good game. Well, it is a apocalyptic world that you're fighting robot dinos. The change of scenery needs to be done every so often. I'm rarely ever in a house for more than 10 years. I've been in this state since 2nd grade. Most of your life is here. Yeah, well, isn't that's normal for kids to leave the nest. No, I know. Floridian. The Floridian girls. He likes guns. You don't want to do paintball? That's airsoft, but with paint. But it's airsoft with paint. Am I not wrong? And you don't want bruises, do you? That's why I said you don't want bruises. Little whelps. That's not his full install. That's half install. All the stuff that is pre-installed. Now it has to download all the updates. I have a stronger will than you. I have a much stronger will than you. The only thing only DLC I bought for COD, well, the only two things I ever really paid for was back in was it Advanced Warfare? That they didn't have zombies originally in, but you had to buy it. I only bought the first map. I didn't care for it. I got my money back. It was like 2 hours. I didn't like it, and Sony had this policy like after a day you're not able to ask for a refund, and I was just at the 2 hour mark, so I was able to still get my refund for it. Dead Rising. Oh! Days Gone. I need to play Days Gone first myself.
Oh my god. You know the problem with it is, I'm just gonna say this, I'm not gonna spoil it. It makes you feel after an hour of
You don't like the marriage thing, do you?
No, I like the marriage thing. It's trying to find...
You're in a zombie apocalypse, of course it would be depressing.
Well, I can only play a game for an hour at a time.
Well, that's kind of me too.
Yeah, especially like zombie games like that.
Okay, but this still counts for. Thank you, game, for telling me.
Plus, I start getting a headache. So I'm thinking something with the game makes me get a headache too.
You might need a new TV then.
I want to get a 4K.
Yeah, I paid $250 for the current 4K I own. And I love it. It's an LG TV. And yes, there is also, the good thing is, you don't have to walk place to place, you can fast travel to place on campus. Not all the time, but you can do it 95% of the time in the game. So, memorize your locations just when you can't. And there's also side quests that are in between buildings, so you can't fast travel to the side quest to give a receiver. The crowd trap? Oh yeah, I finished Borderlands 3 finally. Good game. I enjoyed it. Borderlands 3 was amazing.
Ruby. This is a Ruby game.
They already released it. They had to remove it. Yeah. Yeah, I would say this, don't buy anything from Ruby anymore. Dude, don't support Rooster Teeth anymore. Their politics have gotten in their way of what they were doing.
So my ultra patriotic Metal Gear Solid fanfiction would be banned, would be...
They are more about gay pride and stuff. Oh, they are putting it right in your face.
This should be the student union building.
Yeah.
I know the
That's why I said don't
cafeteria is on the
support the
first
company
floor, but
anymore.
I wonder where the student council room is.
Hey there, first
If
year.
if it's a character trait that is not forced, I'm fine with it. Like the Owl House, I'm loving that show. Luce and another character. Well, there's one character they kind of say she's gay. I say she's not. She's not sure what orientation she is yet. She's experimenting. I do too.
How's it going?
What I tell my friends, as long as you don't force your beliefs
On me, I'm fine.
I'm fine. Movie best friend, force your beliefs on me, then I will.
Academy
back.
life been treating you well this past half month?
Oh, yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Guess he must be a second year. It's not easy,
Yeah,
but
I had
I'm managing.
a good friend
Mostly.
in high school that was an atheist. We both agreed to not talk about religion, and we were good friends.
Though I have a feeling it's only going to get harder from here on out.
No,
Of course it will.
you would have never met him. He was nowhere near you in classes.
Your class is going to be more intense than the others, too.
Yeah, good old DHS.
But you just hang in there, okay?
Rest asshole.
The fact that they didn't know how to teach me, you know, half the time in special
Okay.
they put me in the corner.
Well, you are also kind of rowdy.
Wait. You're a second year student, aren't you? Do you mind if I ask your name?
Hey now, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Tom Clancy books that I ever did in high school.
Well, for me,
First things first.
it
How
was
about
awesome.
you let me show
My
you this
teachers
cool
were
trick
more than
I've been
happy
practicing?
to teach me what I needed.
Trick?
And I was only in one class for special ed, and that's study hall. I was down in the senior wing.
It kind of kept an eye on me. I rarely got anything. I had zero, about almost zero.
You got a 50 mirror coin I can borrow?
Yeah.
I think so. Pretty sure I
It's a
do,
complete
right?
option for me. I loved it. Well, it's just due
Cheers.
to where we were and how different we are was what made it that way.
All right. Watch closely.
Oh yeah, he's a magician.
Gandalf.
And that looks so fucking hokey.
Gandalf.
Now,
What do you think? What hand?
which hand is the coin in? Left or right?
It's in your...
See ya.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
So what hand do you think is it? I know the answer to.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to remember how to buddy
There's a sleight of hand trick, so.
Oh yeah, I had a buddy. I'm trying to remember what he did.
I hope you pay attention because the answer's obvious. I mean, you're gonna get their answer. You're gonna get it wrong no matter what you say here. Both hands are empty.
Too bad.
Guess you win. I'm usually pretty good at following moving objects, too. Though, wait.
Did you notice
You
something
said
on the
this
ground?
was a trick, which means...
You
His
catch on
back.
quick.
Was right underneath where his hands were. He pretended to catch it, but he didn't.
Huh?
It's all sleight of hand.
Keep up the good work, man. You're gonna need to be pretty tough to get through a year with Sarah as your instructor.
You. It's all you.
And the student council room is on the second floor, furthest room back. See you around. Have a good weekend.
The American Falcons. No, you need to buy a F-22 Raptor. A sexy flying machine of death. Or the A-10.
Wait, my 50 Mira.
Need a Warhog. Just buy a Warhog.
You got me.
And use it in airsoft. No, just buy a mini drone Warthog and use it in airsoft.
Andy seemed to know I was heading to the student council room too. Somehow. Nice
Well,
good.
the A-10.
I haven't met many of the second years yet. I
So,
wonder if they're all like...
do they allow drones in airsoft?
Oh well.
I could easily
At least
get
now
one.
I know where I'm going. Though if it really is open late, I guess there's no real rush. I might as well see what else people are up to in here.
FDA. No, not FDA. That's the Federal and Drugs. FCA? Something. I forgot what the flight was called.
Hey, in the chat, if anyone can think of what we're trying to just,
Drone pilots, let's just say that. Do you think we should buy some food before we start doing anything? It's healing items. I disagree, but I need to come here for a reason. No. See, this is what it tells you on the bottom, right? It is useful, but not useful for what needed to be. I forgot what items did I have. Did I get any? Oh, I have 2 cores I can equip. Yeah.